It's unusual that I do videos, especially in the area of my profession, which is theology and Bible. I'm also a criminologist. But this is something that I have discovered. One, there is so much lies that have been fed to us about how God works, especially with the church and us as Christians, because we all know by now that as a person I'm primarily the church, because I'm a temple and God resides in my heart. We have been fed so much to see buildings where we go and meet up and pray as more important than us as human beings being church, those who are believers. I don't know if this makes sense, but this is why I'm doing this video. The idea that the church only gives church, religious institutions, pastors, reverends, bishops, archbishops, all those ranks, deacons, the fact that they tell us to dig into our pockets and give them money and then send us to get money from God, how's something wrong with it? How is it possible that our church in Africa never invests in such a way that they give us what is practical other than words and orders to go and face God so we can get? How is it they get from us but they don't get from God? If we are supposed to go and get from God, how is it possible that for them who are closer to God, appointed by God, can never go at any one point to get from God, but they have to depend on our pockets? And it has so much that they depend on our pockets, but they never do anything that stands up for us. If, for example, there's a disaster, they don't stand up for us. If we are attacked as a sheep, sorry about that, as sheep, they don't stand up for us. Whether we are attacked by those that have more authority or power and money than us, or if we're attacked by disasters, we're on our own. We're like orphans when we have the church. So, is there something wrong? There is something wrong. Church has to come to a point where it gives back. I, living in Houston, have depended on the church. I came here and I didn't know anybody, but I was pointed to the church and I found food banks. The church invested in food banks. They invested in homeless shelters, warm, with food. And they invested in the fact that there is somewhere you can start. How is it, why is it different from what we know growing up back in Africa? There is something wrong. I think we have come to a point where we need to send the pastors, the reverends, the bishops, send them to God. After all, they are representing God and they are closer to God. Send them to get money from God. And maybe when they feel those challenges, they realize that, hey, we need to die for the sheep. When they are attacked by disaster, we need to be able to go in front and save them and stand for them. If rubbish in Chitezi, this recent trash that engulfed people and killed the whole community in hundreds, and every day until now at night they still extract bodies, they'll be able to go there. They'll be the front. They'll be the first. The church will be relevant in society so that they are essential even times of disaster. In times of disaster, guys, let's wake up. Let's challenge the church. Let's hold them accountable. These guys are so lazy. They think they can just come and lecture and talk. That is easy. Very easy to talk. Please don't be distracted by the background. We serve a God of varieties. You know, those are just different varieties. But enough is enough. We need our communities back. No wonder right now the behaviors, the ethics within the society and communities in Uganda and in Africa is so eroded because the institutions that are supposed to hold the checks and balances, to be the leaders towards checks and balances, are so lazy. They just lecture and tell us, decide for us, and then they go back and sit and do nothing. We want to see churches investing in such a way that believers can benefit. Churches should own hospitals so that when that time comes, we're able to use those hospitals. Essential things. It's my heart crying out. God bless you.